Every market has its soul, but this one seemed to have a beating heart in every improvised stall, in every scent of fresh fruit, in every voice selling hope instead of goods. And in the middle of that pulsing heart stood a woman with a steady gaze and calloused hands. Dona Dalva. No one knew her full name, few knew where she lived, but everyone knew that if her stall wasn't set up on Saturday morning, something in the world was off. She arrived before sunrise, pushing a wheelbarrow full of vegetables still dewy from the dawn. No makeup, no designer clothes, no fancy shoes. Her worn flip-flops and printed skirt were her battle uniform. She never asked for discounts, but always gave an extra banana, a kind smile, a God bless you, that warmed even the coldest hearts. Dalva was easy to overlook. She didn't make a scene, didn't argue, didn't seek attention. But quietly, she cared for everyone. She could tell when a customer was sad. She saved fruit for barefoot children. She handed out bags to the elderly who struggled to walk. And still, she remained invisible. Because to many, being too simple meant being unnoticed. But that Saturday, everything changed. An unexpected, cruel, and seemingly small event in the eyes of those who don't live it made the heart of the market stop for a moment. In that moment of collective discomfort, Dalva's story began to unfold, and with it, an entire town discovered that sometimes the greatest value of a person lies not in what they show, but in what they quietly build. Chapter 1. Public Humiliation. Saturday dawned cloudy, with a chilly breeze sweeping down the neighborhood's main street. The market was already set up when Dona Dalva arrived, carefully pushing her cart with trembling hands. The fresh vegetables gave off that strong, familiar scent that comes right before lunch prep, but something was different that morning. At the corner of the market, a group of young influencers had set up a booth. Cameras, microphones, and cell phones pointed at everything and everyone. A new project from City Hall to film the real life of the people, showcasing the hard-working Brazil. "We're giving visibility to those who truly deserve it," said a guy in a tight t-shirt, his smile trained for the camera. The team moved through the stalls, interviewing some vendors, smiling at the cameras, filming running children, until they reached Dona Dalva's stand. "Look at this lady, so traditional. Let's talk to her," said a blonde woman, grabbing the microphone. "Ma'am, what's your secret to waking up so early and keeping a good mood?" asked the guy, stepping into her stall. Dalva turned with her usual gentle smile, but hesitated. She never liked being filmed. She didn't feel comfortable with cameras. "Oh, I just do what needs to be done, sir. We work because there's hunger at home," she replied shyly while arranging tomatoes, but her simple answer wasn't enough for the influencers. "Let's spice this up. Ask her to say something like, 'I'm a warrior of Brazil,'" the woman whispered to the cameraman. "Ma'am, just say, 'I'm a warrior of Brazil,' to energize the video, okay?" Dalva looked confused, not understanding why she had to perform. I don't really like that kind of thing. I just want to sell my veggies, sir." The guy laughed. "Oh, she's shy. Let's move to the next stall." They walked away laughing and whispering, leaving behind a humiliated Dalva, her face burning with shame. A group of young people who had been watching burst out laughing. "Not even good enough to be in the video," one of them yelled, loud enough for everyone to hear. Dalva lowered her head and kept arranging her produce. But inside, something cracked. Not because of the video, but because of the humiliation. Throughout the day, she was quieter than usual. Customers noticed her silence, but respected it. No one knew exactly what had happened. But the whispers continued, the sidelong glances, and the feeling that being too simple was almost a flaw. On her way home, pushing her empty cart, the weight of the world seemed to press down on her shoulders. Her wrinkled face looked more tired than usual. At home, she sat in her kitchen chair and stayed silent for hours, She thought of her grandchildren, her children, the times she had gone hungry to feed others. She thought of the cold dawns, the rain she had faced alone, the kind words she always offered. Suddenly, all of it felt not enough. For the first time in a long time, Dona Dalva considered not coming back. But what she didn't know was that, in that painful silence, a revolution was starting, and soon the world would know her name, not through a forced catchphrase, but for everything she already was, dignified, strong, and extraordinary. Chapter 2. Echoing Voices. The next morning, the sun was slow to rise. The neighborhood still slept, but social media was already buzzing. A video posted by the influencer team was spreading quickly. In it, edited for laughs, Dona Dalva appeared, being interviewed. The title grabbed attention, the grumpy grandma of the market. Within minutes, the comments started. "Ugh, what a rude old lady! Can't even play along. Probably doesn't even pay taxes." But other voices rose up, voices that knew her, that remembered. A young woman posted, "This lady is an angel. When I was a kid and came barefoot to the market, she gave me fruit in secret. Show some respect." Others followed. An elderly man wrote, "She used to carry my bags when my leg hurt. She never took a cent." Within hours, the story shifted. Dalva, without knowing it, became a symbol. Ordinary people shared their memories. Old photos appeared, and each story was a puzzle piece, revealing an extraordinary woman. Meanwhile, in Dalva's home, the silence lingered. She didn't have social media. She only learned about the video when a neighbor knocked on her door, teary-eyed. "Dona Dalva, you're on the internet, but everyone's on your side. It's beautiful to see." Dalva didn't understand right. Away, her grandson, still a teenager, had to show her on his phone. She watched in silence, then sat down in her kitchen chair. "I just wanted to sell my vegetables, son. Never wanted to be a headline." "But you are, Grandma." "Because who?" "You are. The world needs to see it." Across town, the influencer team was under pressure. Sponsors were calling. Followers were angry. City Hall, tied to the project, demanded answers. The next Saturday, a new video appeared, with a new title, "We Were Wrong, and We're Ready to Listen." But what came next would surprise even those who had already begun to admire Dona Dalva. Chapter 3. Dalva's return Saturday morning came with golden light and mild air. People arrived early, murmuring about the news. Dona Dalva would be back. Her stall space had been cleaned, and someone even placed a handmade sign, "Reserved." For the heart of the market. Dalva arrived quietly, like always, pushing her cart. But this time she wasn't invisible. Applause broke out. Some clapped. Others approached to hug her. There were no cameras, just genuine emotion. Children brought her drawings. Elderly customers offered her help setting up. A nearby baker gave her coffee and fresh bread. Vendors whispered, "We're glad you came back." And she smiled. A small, sincere smile that carried years of resilience. Her vegetables sold out faster than ever. People came from other neighborhoods saying, "I just had to meet you." Others shared their own stories of kindness they'd received from her years before. And for the first time, Dalva's quiet life spoke louder than any camera ever could. At the end of the day, instead of exhaustion, she felt peace. A type of peace that comes when your truth is finally seen. Chapter 4. The Silent Revolution. By the following week, local newspapers had written about her. Journalists requested interviews, but Dalva refused most of them. "I'm not a celebrity," she said. "I'm just a worker." Still, her name echoed in town. A school invited her to speak. A community center created a food donation drive in her honor. People began calling her the soul of the market. And the influencer team? They rebranded. Their page became a platform to amplify real, everyday stories with no scripts, no catchphrases. The first story, Dona Dalva's. But the biggest change was silent, like her. People started to look differently at the market, at the quiet ones. The unseen, the ones who give without asking, who serve without applause. Dalva returned each week, like always. But now, she wasn't invisible. She was a reminder that sometimes the most powerful revolutions begin not with a shout, but with a whisper, a smile, a quiet stand. And that true dignity doesn't need a spotlight, it just needs to be seen.